So let's look at the latest news updates on the front and back pages of the newspapers. Mamavi, good morning.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
A bit
terrible cold.
I have a very terrible cold.
Yeah.
Yes, so
all right. So
forgive me. I can't quite open my eyes wide.
Okay. So just do the daily graphic for us quickly if you can.
Before that, our review segment is always brought to us in association with SOS Advance. Let's do the daily graphic newspaper. Front page of the graphic: allow SHS students to use mobile phones, according to educationists. Mr. Hannes Haffa is founder of Gifted and Talented Education. I'll tell you a bit about what he's been telling the daily graphic about the use of mobile phones, schools allowing students to use mobile phones.
What do you think about that? Oh, just yesterday.
I think it's still a no. Not sure we're quite there.
It was just yesterday. Since the weekend, my son has been asking me, how much did I buy my phone? And I think the phone I use is quite low on pricing as far as smartphones are concerned. So he asked me, I said, oh, I bought it for 420. He said, that's a lot of money, but not too much. His savings can take care of that.
Really?
Yeah. I said, okay.
Well, he wants a phone?
He said his savings can take care. I said, when is he going to be ready with his savings? He said he'll open his piggy bank in December.
Okay.
So he can buy, and that one will be his.
Oh, so he wants to buy a phone?
I said, you can't buy a phone. He says, no, but he wants to buy a phone. I said, well, if you buy a phone, you'll be going to websites that you're not supposed to go to. And that's where I have
Besides,
the problem.
what does he want to use the phone for?
He said he wants to download games and browse Google on things that he wants, like as in education.
There's a way around it. There's a way around it, because there's a certain phone that does not allow children to go to other websites. It's restricted. I think you can always restrict it. But problem is...
But those ones are expensive.
Oh, but he still can save towards that. So he may probably not get it this year, but he can definitely get it next year.
Right.
Yeah. But
so then this morning I came to see this front page.
SHS, so. Senior high school. I mean, if you don't use a phone when you are in senior high school, what do you lose?
I don't know. But those in senior high school, but because I'm sure by the time my son gets to senior high school, he may be using a phone when he comes back. From school, because he has to be.
I think it will be distractive.
I have to contact him, etc.
It will be
not to send it to school, but on holidays he has to use a phone.
Yeah, no, that I can understand.
Have you gone for class? Where are you? And that kind of
that
thing.
I can understand. Yeah. I think even when I was in school, and that would be a couple of years back.
Oh.
Anytime you came back on holidays, you would use a phone. But in school, I don't know. It will be too distractive for the children. But
not in school. I don't think it's in school. If you are seeing tablets for them to use in class, I think that's different.
Well, this is what he's been saying, and it's captured. Okay, So according to him, there was an urgent need for holistic structures to be put in place by policymakers in education to allow mobile phones to be efficiently used by students. And here's a quote. Under no circumstance must we deny young people access to smartphones because it can provide more information for students than any teacher can. I taught in California as far back as 1984, and students were allowed to use mobile phones. We cannot deny young people access to this technology in the 21st century. I can understand how people feel about the need for this new trend, but we need to put the structures in place to incorporate discipline in the use of these mobile phones.
And I have to tell you, there are many things that you and I are children, and I'm sure many other children learn from the devices that are around, the smart TVs that we have around, the tablets and the phones that you and I will never know about in terms of the knowledge acquisition. The thing is about control. Our fear is getting out of control. And do we have the structures and the mechanisms to control those? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Do we say that they shouldn't get access to the knowledge because we don't have the structures?
Well, they have computers in school. There's a computer lab. So maybe
but the computer lab is not enough. You visit the ones.
I know.
Not everybody gets to touch it.
I was going to say that we should make it a lot more accessible. Any child at all should be able to walk into the computer room. They feel at any point in time that they want to undertake a research or something of the sort. I don't know. It shouldn't be restricted to just computer studies time or something of the sort, because we've grown out of that kind of era. Yeah.
The white computers.
But Nat certainly disagrees. The full conversation is captured in the Daily Graphic newspaper.
The point is that we'll start this is the beginning of the conversation. In 10 years' time, this will be a thing of the past.
I know. Until we've got like serious structures to check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in 10 years' time we would have had the structures to check, but it would have been a thing of the past. It would have been a conversation way in ancient periods.
Okay. Well, we wait
Because
for
you even used phones when you came back from school in holidays.
Yes.
Yeah, and my time there were no phones at all.
Well,
now children are using phones whilst in school.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the prying eyes of the school authorities.
It's true.
But 10 years from now.
But parents can't control that, because I think usually parents are not in sync with what the school does.
Yeah, sure.
So the school would say don't, but some parents would. We have to be on the same page.
Yeah, we should be.
And if you give your child a phone, I mean, because of they're on holidays, you have to check the websites that they are visiting.
You can't prevent that.
No, but you can always give it to somebody who is more knowledgeable and expert to block certain sites on the phone so they can't even have access to it.
Definitely.
You have to be responsible. Once you decide to give your child a phone,
agree.
you've got to be responsible.
I agree.
It's your duty.
I agree.
Well, also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, here's a story. SNITS engages audit firm to review financial records, and President launches one district, one factory on Friday. But this one on SNITS. Story says the Social Security and National Insurance Trust has engaged the audit firm PricewaterhouseCoopers to, among other things, review the financial records and state of affairs of the trust as of March 31, 2017. The review, which is expected to be completed in 8 weeks, will also assess the internal control and financial management systems to identify any weaknesses and make recommendations for best practices. The review will also cover an audit of the trust's information technology systems in use to identify and document gaps in the system in view of the large expenditure on a new operating system. And this was at a press conference in Accra yesterday. The board chairman of SNITS, Dr. Kwame Adukufour, said the review had become necessary because there were challenges, including financial irregularities, improper management practices, high management costs, and prudence investments, which drain the resources of the trust. You can read the rest of the story is on page 16 inside the Daily Graphic newspaper. But back page of the paper, before we bring you the Times, back page, 2 die in collapsed Galamsey pits in the Western region. 2 persons have died following the collapse of an abandoned illegal mining pits at Nsajoso near Achimpim in the Wasa East District in the Western region. 2 accomplices of the deceased sustained injuries in the accident, while 2 others are yet to be accounted for. The rest of the story you find back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Roland?
Interesting. But let's look at this. The Ghanaian Times has on the front page, Yoko chases 5 SNIT officials for involvement in financial malfeasance, and the story is on page 17 of the paper. It says that 5 officials of SNIT are being investigated by Yoko for alleged financial malfeasance, and the chairman of the board of trustees of SNIT, Dr. Kwame Adukufour, who disclosed this at a news conference in Accra yesterday to announce an independent audit into the operations of SNIT, did not mention the names of the officials and the reasons why they were being investigated by Yoko. SNIT has recruited PricewaterhouseCoopers to conduct an independent review and baseline assessment into its operations over the last 3 years. But a source at SNIT told the Ghanaian Times that a condition of anonymity, that the 5 officials were being investigated for, well, quite repetitive for many of the issues.
But it's the same press conference, except that the headlines captured by the various newspapers.
Okay.
Yeah, different. This is taking the Yoko angle, and then this one is taking the audits angle, the graphic.
Yep.
But they are not giving the names of the 5.
Never.
Right? Okay, well,
No.
this is expected, Abby.
We didn't think command as you prove none. Yeah, we sue you off.
All right, we're through with the Times, are we?
Okay. All right, so we have 2 more headlines. Ghana seals deal for gas supply from Equatorial Guinea. You have a picture of Obiang, Teodoro Obiang Mbasogo of Equatorial Guinea and President Akufo-Addo of Ghana. GES reshuffle staff, 16 regional divisional directors affected. Back page, sport throughout. It says Wafa aim to break Kotoko, and then we have 50,000 Ghana cedis cash reward for FA Cup winner.
50,000. Really? Well, they think it's something.
Oh, really?
FA Cup.
That's it for the Ghanaian Times.
All right, from the Ghanaian Times, we move to the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder this day, Spio Gabra for NDC's 2020 primary, story on page 2. The same story in the Times also features on the front page of the Finder. 15-year gas deal sealed with Equatorial Guinea following President Akufo-Addo's visit. Ghana expecting between 100 to 200 million cubic feet of gas per day. Also, 450 megawatt car power ship arrives tomorrow. There's a difference between what we had before or what we have and what's coming in. I'll tell you what the difference is. Government unveils paperless port procedures. There's a picture of the vice president. But first, with this gas deal that's been sealed, story says Ghana will today finalize an agreement for the supply of liquefied natural gas from Equatorial Guinea.
We haven't finished? I thought this.
No, we haven't. Not quite. We're going to finalize today according to the details given here. Story by Daniel Nono in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea. So they're going to finalize this for a period of 15 years, renewable every 5 years. The deal, which is expected to significantly improve the country's energy supply for a much talked about industrial transformation, will be formally signed by both parties today. Ghana's Energy Minister Boakye Jaako told the Finder that, quotes, Ghana is looking at reaching an agreement between 100 million and 200 million cubic feet of gas supply per day, unquote. The deal was struck at the beginning of a 3-day state visit of President Akufo-Addo to that country. All right, the paper is also getting very strong indications. They give 2 strong names who will be going, contesting the presidential position for the NDC towards the 2020 election. So whether Mahama is standing or not, paper indicates that the former Trades Minister, Spio Gabra, will be going. There's a conversation with his spokesperson in the paper. They also give, the Nadoli Kalio constituency member of parliament, Alban Bagbing, so one of the contenders as well. You can read the rest of the story in the paper. But let's do page 4 before, we close the chapter. It says a new 450 megawatts capacity car power ship named Osman Khan is expected to arrive in Ghana tomorrow, Thursday. After it is successfully installed and commissioned, the 225 megawatts power barge stationed at Tema Port will be commissioned and moved out of Ghana. This is because the government of Ghana, through the Electricity Company of Ghana, entered into a 10-year agreement to procure power produced by a 450 megawatt ship from Car Power Ship Ghana, a subsidiary of Kara Deniz Holding of Turkey. And information available to the Finder indicates that the incoming 450 megawatts is a ship. That's the difference, so it's a ship. Whereas the existing 225 megawatts is a power barge. If you want to know what all of that means, you have to grab the paper and read the rest of the story. There are lots of other stories. Oh, this is it. Minerals Commission CEO exits. He's been asked to proceed on leave. We're talking Tony Obing, the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission. He's been asked to proceed on leave. But if you're familiar with proceed on leave, especially when there's a new administration, he is likely not to return. But he's been there for 3 years, I think. So he was appointed in April 2014 by the John Mahama administration. And you would know that in recent times, the commission has been blamed. There's a strong fight against Galamsey, and the commission has been cited, for giving the go-ahead for people to
But Tony Obing has great experience in the mining industry.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we went to the World Cup, Go Fields Ghana, they were sponsors of the Black Stars. He was the chief executive.
Okay.
And that would be 2006 under the Kufuor administration.
Well, his name is very familiar. I mean, it's a very popular name in Ghana. We're told that, the people that he worked with, or he works with because he's proceeding on leave.
Yeah, from there he went to the Chamber of Mines and then went to the Mines Commission.
Yeah. They say there was an emotional,
He's an industry man.
It was very emotional when he was bidding his colleagues, when he was telling them what had happened. Yeah, but...
I thought he was a very neutral man, so...
Yeah, that's what... but
if it's neutral,
Yeah, you can be, but when there's a
change in administration,
when there's change in administration, and people think they can't work with you, it doesn't really matter.
Even if you're neutral, even if you're very knowledgeable.
That's your perspective. That's how you see it.
All right, I get your point.
But we've cited the Minerals Commission for a lot of things, right? I mean, so especially that's a regulatory body. So some people feel that they failed in successfully regulating the industry. So yeah. Also in the paper, the fine details of how government's paperless ports policy will be carried out have been unveiled. Details captured here in the finder.
Okay, so let's look at the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It has on the front page, Spiel tells JDM and others, I will contest you all for 2020. You have pictures there of JDM. And
whether you go or not.
Yeah.
I think they said that the
and then you have pictures of
Sylvester Mensah. Oh, Sylvester Mensah is also there, former NHI boss.
And then we also have Dr. Spio Gabra and, of course, Professor Joshua Alabi. But there's some photos also coming up, or posters of the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Papa Kwesi Misarthur.
Oh, yeah.
Indum tells Ekufado. I've even seen one for Chenche.
Who's that?
Dr. Oko van der Poy.
Oh, okay. I cited something.
I saw it online.
You remember the...
I saw it online. I don't really...
Stephen Atuguba. Yeah?
Atubiga. Yes.
Okay.
The one who went to the Supreme Court and was for contempt.
Yes. Exactly. I saw a certain poster of him. He's going for 2020.
Yeah, he means to go. Yeah. He'll be going.
He's serious about it?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
I think I've spoken to him before. He said he will. And then we have Indium tells Ekufuado, 2017 is for action, not talk. And then we have other stories there. Okay.
You're through?
I am through.
Well, send us your comments via text message.
I wanted to do the daily, before you come in with the... I haven't done the daily guide.
Okay.
On the front page of the daily guide, we have riot over Mahama and wife bauxite deal. And then we have Nana grabs gas contract at Equatorial Guinea, a man arrested. A man arrested over Nigerian attack. Glencore in illegal activities, we're told. But I always like the center spread of the paper, but not today. Okay, so we have those stories on the front page. All right. But let's look at the Daily Dispatch, and then we'll do the Business and Financial Times and go and do the online paper.
I thought you'd done the Dispatch. You have
the Daily Statesman. So the Daily Statesman has on the front page, MPP cautions aspirants. And we know that they are going to have their conference, national conference.
Yeah, this weekend on Saturday.
In Cape Coast, the central regional capital. And they said there should be no posters around. Now, I have to call my folks in Cape Coast and ask if we don't have posters of MPP aspirants all splashed around.
Was it how they're able to control that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because once you make entry from Ori,
the candidate himself or herself may not, potential candidates or aspiring.
But you're saying their supporters
may not, yeah. But you don't have control over what your followers would want to do. And,
so we'll see how they're able to do that. There's also a taunt on social media trolling about how they spelled core, diplomatic core.
Yeah,
that's funny. But I hope that they change that before we get to.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, they will. Diplomatic core.
But somebody said, "What is it? What is
this
it
one?
with
this one is on social media. It's getting the prominence on social media.
What is it with political power and spelling?
Yeah,
that's what somebody said.
I'm telling you. And then I'm told that this one was first posted by some group of people. And then the other opponent from the MPP said, "Oh, there are some George's people, you know."
So this is fake, Abby?
No, not that it's fake, but they said that is because maybe yes, they said it could be fake because once you don't see it on Saturday, it means that it's fake.
I like that angle of the arguments.
Okay.
Because but that's not Saturday.
But that's not how we spell diplomat. That's not how we spell
days
call.
Before Saturday, so
the pronunciation will sound like this. But
Roland, how about those who say diplomatic corps?
Yeah, that's even deadly.
This is to help you pronounce it well.
You spell it the way you hear it.
Exactly.
Okay, I get the point. So we have SNIT to be audited by PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's also on the front page of the Daily Statesman. And that's it. All right. Basically,
all right.
that's it.
So the last paper that we will do before we quickly go online, but whilst we're getting ready to do that, send us your text message if you've got a comment, anything you want to say, send us a text message, an SMS message with the same number that you see on your screen. Let's do the Business and Financial Times newspaper. Front page, help society go cash light. Nigeria High Commissioner asks GT Bank. Also, PwC, that's the PricewaterhouseCoopers to audit SNIT operations. 5 officials already under EOCO investigation. Roadmap for paperless port as September 1 start date looms. Only 1 million persons hold driver's license. That's still a lot. A total of...
No, that's not a lot.
It's not? Oh, okay, okay. But, okay, wait, but those who drive, are they more than 1 million?
You mean those who are potential drivers?
No, those who are on the road.
How would you know the number of people on the road?
They should know.
We have 2 million vehicles registered in Ghana. And then we have those that are not registered.
And then we have 1 million driver's licenses.
Yes, and we have more
so we have a lot of illegal drivers on the road.
We have actually more than 200 people. If you look at our population who can drive, okay, who could have access to, because somebody may not have a car but has a driver's license.
Okay, okay, right. Okay.
And so,
considering some people use it as their form of identification.
And so somebody maybe over the age of 18 and so can acquire a driver's license.
Okay. All right. So it's a little over 1 million, by the way. Approximately 4.5% of Ghana's 28 million estimated population are qualified to drive as of May this year. Statistics from the, and we've got to continue on page 4. Okay. Statistics from the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority show the figures, however, 882,884 shots of the a little over 2 million registered vehicles that are on the country's roads. The legal age of driving in Ghana is 18, and about close to 60% of the population is 18 and above. Details of this, I like the breakdown. You can grab the paper and read all the stories. To have or not to have, the 3-child policy flaws. That's a piece by Evans Boamensah. Will be good to read. Back page of the Business and Financial Times. WAMCO back to life to test run operations in the next 2 weeks, plus other stories in the Business and Financial Times. Let's do online, Roland.
So we do online. We go to myjoyonline.com. We'll go to the home section, and then when you get there, we'll bring you a wrap-up of what the main news stories are. Government's promise to eliminate armyworm as panic reaction. Scientists. It's a government's promise to eliminate the incidence of fall armyworm invasion is not realistic, according to crop scientists at the University of Cape Coast, Dr. Michael Oseidu. And Atta Kennedy says we must not celebrate decision on mandatory toll levy. Okay, so we have next. This one is an opinion, so you can just go to the page. Homo Festival, rival chiefs clash in Osu, and apparently supporters of one Ni Okwe Kinka Dowona the Sixth and Ni Note Owo, who are claimants to the Osu traditional area stool, have clashed at this year's Homo Festival underway at Osu. Ha 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 ha. Chieftaincy. Is there gold in Accra? We have environmentalists demand immediate approval of timber procurement policy to save forests. And then we have Obasama AGI introduced quality assurance seal for local food processors. I think that's a good one. Ban on Galamsey slows economic activities in Amansia West. Really?
As to be expected.
Really? Okay. Media, we're like Odufu Kumfu. We do good and we do bad small. Anyway, we have to report what's the reality. Charlotte Osei wins U.S. Government Women of Courage Award. I think I love that. I've always loved this woman, so I have a certain bias for her. Ghana secures 15-year gas deal from Equatorial Guinea. Congratulations to the president for negotiating that for us. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. All right. So we have other stories there. Upper West, Bonafo regions hit by shortage of police officers, crime rate soar. Okay. Sometimes we don't want to tackle the reality. Yeah.
All right, we've got videos as well. If you miss any of our content here on JoyNews, you can always catch up on the video section at myjoyonline.com. Let's quickly run through City FM and then we will go to the BBC. So NDC 2018 primaries. I haven't decided to contest yet.
He will contest.
Conflicting, because there's the stories in the newspapers. At least 2 of them that are saying he's going
I've seen the Daily Dispatch.
For he's going to contest. Attributes that to a spokesperson of his.
Okay. But he was speaking himself?
Not sure, but you have to log on later on. Snit probes $66 million software purchase. Exton Cubic, Ibrahim Mohammed's operations legal, according to the Natural Resources Minister, Peter Ameu. Still on that same issue.
How did they take that picture?
We may sue.
Please go back. Let me see
Which
the
one
picture.
is that?
This one is what? The 2 of them, huh? That's
the Ashanti Regional Minister.
How did they get a picture when they visited each other? Or what? I think that would be an old one. Well, a recent old one.
Okay.
Okay, so can we go back? Can we go to Exton?
Yeah.
Okay.
We may sue over Ibrahim Mohammed's seized equipment. We know that, the Ashanti Regional Minister.
If the company has
suing.
the license to do legitimate business, let's allow and stop this matter.
In the meantime, we know John Peter Ameu says he's written to the Attorney General for advice, way forward on this, especially with some of the, how do you call that, certificates or the approved, the authorized documents to the company. You get what I mean? He says he's asking the Attorney General's office for advice on, the way forward, how to proceed. So we wait. NPP delegate conference will sanction aspirants who campaign. We will be watching. And U.S. government honors Charlotte say with Women of Carriage Award. Let's do the BBC. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari is back. But here's another twist to his whole coming back thing. But okay, that's it. He is not going to be in his official office working there as president. He's going to be home working because apparently there are rats.
Are you serious?
Yeah! There are rats in his office.
Please.
Oh!
Even the Zongo areas in Nigeria don't have rats.
Listen.
Oh, please,
rats,
please.
This is not just a headline. No, rats chase Nigeria.
Can we click on that story?
We can, but I listened to
Are you serious?
Spokesperson on the BBC.
On the BBC?
Attributing the fact, like he's not going to be operating in his office for the next 3 months because apparently there are rats in there. He's been absent for 3 months.
Please.
So rats occupy the office and they decided to work as president.
You mean cleaners don't go to the office? They don't go and clean.
Let's go up. Let's
Africa, democracy, comedy.
So, Roland, Nigeria's president will spend 3 months working from home after his office was damaged by rats.
How many hours does it take you to rid your house of rats? 3 months?
Has just returned from 3 months in the UK amid widespread concern. But government spokesman Garba Shehu said the office required renovation after damage was done to the furniture and air conditioning in his absence. He told the BBC the president, quote, had well-equipped, unquote, office at home that he could work perfectly from. But listen,
please let me ask.
I listened to the dude. He could have said what he said without saying the rat bits.
So we're saying
reacted.
that the Nigerian president's house, the office he has in his house, is better than the office that the Nigerian president occupies.
Because
anyway,
rats have destroyed the place.
Well equipped.
Rats run the presidency. Well, Benedict is coming up. Neymar is in the news again because he's
been sued. I'm told by Barcelona for 10 million.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. All right. There are other stories here quickly. Some highlights. A huge rise in Nigeria child human bombs. There have been 83 cases so far this year, 4 times as many as all of last year, the UN says. Zimbabwe's white farmers launch compensation bid. Uganda terror
I think they deserve something. Their lands were seized, their farms seized, their investment gone.
Yeah.
All because, what do they call them? Octogenarian or what? Decided to
there's a horrible
and now those
instance.
farms have all collapsed. The farms they collected to the indigents, I'm told.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's a fair thing though, but
Okay, this story is one
you don't
that I
have
would
the skill.
encourage all of us to read. Arrest made in Morocco bar sex attack. Very horrible incident where a lady was, you know, sexually attacked and nobody helped her, even though there were people.
Serious?
We've received some text messages. We just quickly want to...
Did you see the video?
No, I listened to the story.
Okay. So if they said sexually attacked, means that what?
It means I read the story. Text messages.
Was she raped?
This one says, it's very good that Ghana Port is now going paperless to bring down corruption. Ghana will work again from General D.O. Unity Farms in Doma, Ahingro. Text messages just before we run off and bring you sports. This one says, tell President Nanado to let us graduate from Salem Tamale Technical University. And this one says, Dunyo Doji from Akosombo. Why should students use mobile phones while they have short period to spend at school? It will be too distractive. With
I
this
agree.
WAEC, will make money out of student failure.
If we can use it as a learning tool,
perform poorly.
I don't think it's bad.
This one says, well, thank you for the nice things. I want to recommend the president for his effort towards doom, so more grease to his elbows. When I got to work today, there was doomso, by the way. I think a big part of Kokomlemle done this morning. Roland is confused with your outfit this morning to the extent of remaining him of reviewing one paper twice. Eddie from home, good observation. Yeah, dude is confused. Where is Jifa? Where has she moved to? Maoli in Sefiri. So, oh, you're late. Jifa has moved on. We're talking Jifa Bampo. I will tell you later on where she's gone to. This one says, when is government going to pay the arrears of 2013 to 2015 batch of teachers? That's why Abdullah asking. That will be it for the text messages that we received for now. We've got to run, but before we do that, we want to say thank you to SOS Advance for bringing us the review segment here on our show.